point, we ought to now take you on a trip.
Great, I'd love to
With the
take a
sound
trip.
machine.
Yes.
Before we do that, let's explain how it works.
Okay.
Notice around the room we got 1, 2, 3, 4 speaker boxes.
Uh-huh.
They are connected to vacuum tube amplifiers of my special design. I think at this point, let's go into how the actual amplifier works. I call it the quantum well design. The quantum physics I deal with is the physics of electrons and light going between the parallel realities. We have 7 parallel realities, which we're one of. This physical reality we can touch.
You mean like 7 different Earth worlds?
Whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the quantum physics I work with. Now, in that, I went into a very, very deep study of electrons between the conductive state, which is a particle, and the vacuum state, which is a wave. You can look at it as the particle is a little ball. And when it gets launched into a vacuum, since there's no atoms to jump from to, it unrolls itself and becomes like a sheet traveling through the vacuum. A massless, thicknessless sheet traveling. This wave aspect of the electron is very special. When you get an electron wave, it literally floats in hyperspace. Now, if you can take the space that the wave is floating in and twist it, spin it, rotate it, you can now create a vortex. That vortex will go through all parallel realities. That's contingent to us here. And if you take the age-old pentode vacuum tube and you bias it correctly with the voltages on the element, you can literally take that wave that's in the tube and spin it. And it forms like a vortex, a quantum singularity, a white hole, whatever you want to call it, and connects the signal flow through all 7 realities. Now, how this works, when I was working for my PhD, I learned how to bias the vacuum tubes to maximize this effect. You know, a lot of people are saying today tubes sound better than transistors. I'm sure you've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Because the vacuum tube actually produces, for want of better words, colloquially, life energies. The life energies is electron and photonic functions going through all 7 parallel realities. That's what life energy really is. And the vacuum tubes will amplify it. Now, how this system works is in some worlds, the information flows from the speaker to the listener. In other parallels, it flows from the listener back to the speaker. It goes into the amplifier, into this quantum well, and it gets all rolled together and spread through all 7 parallel realities, which your mind operates in at least 7 parallel realities. That's the nature of mankind. The soul, the spirit, is the image of us in other parallels. So now we have a function where you can use music to spin your mind into all 7 parallels, and at the same time it crosses the music with your function, produces another function which you will be perfectly resonant with and can go very deep in the meditation. And from that you can then spread out into the other realities consciously. That's what this equipment does. Now, we have the 4 satellite, their speaker system. They're connected to vacuum tubes. They go roughly high bass to the full tweeter treble. Now you'll see we got these big black boxes. There's 3 here. They have 18-inch subwoofers in them, which connect to a 2,000 watt amplifier. That's solid state. Then there's 2 more there on either side of the bed. They're 15-inch subwoofers, but they're run a little bit differently. You see they're wrapped up in in foam and cloth and pillows. That's because there's a board running between the top of the two of them. The cones shape the upper board, which is suspended, and that board then couples into the 4x4 that goes across the two and shakes the bed. You can actually feel down to 5 hertz on that bed. And then you have these cabinets. Each one of these has a pair of 12s in them, dissimilar 12s with different resonant frequencies. And those are driven by a 500 watt amplifier. These are driven by a 1000 watt amplifier. And the bass is superb. You can actually feel the vibrations in the floor of the Riverside Church or Prince Albert Hall on that organ, that big organ.
So you're saying that there are literally seven worlds, 7 Earths. So you and I are sitting right now on 6 other planets having the same conversation. They're
Not
similar.
maybe
They're
exactly the same, but close.
different. So they're parallel in structure, parallel in what's happening, time zones.
Well, some of them are not fully physical, like this is.
So they also exist on different dimensions.